Do you feel that your internet is just going way too slow? And are you feeling that each device on your network is getting a different speed reading? And you're wondering why? Are you asking, like, what's wrong with my internet that it's so bad? Why does one computer, or maybe two computers, have faster internet than all the rest? If you are answering these questions, I'm here today to help you and give you some advice. Welcome back to Pushing Technology to the Limit. I have just upgraded my internet to cable, and I haven't had it that long. I've been using DSL since 2004, and I was like, great, cable's in, and I'm going to get it. And I've never had cable because it was never on this street. And so I got doing some speed tests, and I'm like, what is going on? Why does my laptop slower than my regular desktop computer? Why does my virtual computer go slower than my physical computer? And I also have an Android app player for it's kind of like an add-on smart TV kind of a thing. I don't have those computerized smart TVs for network or computer type stuff like YouTube and things like that for plenty of reasons. But that's not what this video is about today. So one of the things I've done is I've done a bunch of testing on my equipment. And this is only just a theory. I mean, I can't really prove it, but I'm thinking that it could be possibly the equipment, because my one computer that I tested it on and I got perfect speed, because what I'm supposed to be getting down is 100 megabits and 10 up. So my one computer has perfect speed, and actually it's faster than what I'm supposedly getting. So it's about 117 to 120 megabits down and 11 up. Well, today I want to show you my different speed tests that I've got. I've got an Android player and I got a laptop, and I also got my physical computer that's actually not a virtual. So we're going to show you those speed tests. And then I got some explanations why I'm getting these results. So stick around, and I'll be right back. So here is my physical tower that I've got, and I also got a virtual machine running behind that. And as of course you can see, I'm using Spectrum Internet, and I'm going to do a speed test right now on my actual physical computer. And we started it, and let me get up here a little bit closer so you can see the details here. And it's pretty good coming down. It's about like what I said, about almost 120 megabits down, and it's about almost 11 there, 11 megabits up. So this computer is receiving perfect internet speed. Now if I go over to my virtual machine, and here's that machine right here. So let me show you the whole screen here. And this is going to be a little bit of a smaller screen because it is inside of another computer. Let me give you a speed test on that one. See, it's getting about half of what I'm supposed to be getting, and what on the other machine. So my physical machine is getting way more than this machine is. Now I've got reasons why this is happening to me. And if you're using virtual, you'll be wondering, like, why is that going slower than normal? And I'm going to get to that in a minute. So this virtual machine that I've got running here is about 45.4 megabits down and 6.1 megabits up, which is good, but I wish it was faster. Now let me show you my laptop. Here's my laptop, and it's an older laptop, so it doesn't have the fast network card in it like 1 gigabit. It's still 100 megabytes, but everything here in this room is wired. I don't use wireless hardly, except for my tablet. So let me do a speed test on this computer, and we'll see what this comes up with. It's a little bit slower than normal. Awful. It's saying that I got almost 5. Well, no, I guess now it's getting up there. But still, that is pretty bad. That's even slower than my virtual computer's going. Now let's see what the upload speed's doing. That's just as bad as my DSL. I was only getting 1.3 megabit upload speed with my DSL. That's pretty pathetic. So, if we can see that here, I'm not sure if we can see it too good. I can read it to you. It's about 18.9 down and 1.0 up. That is awful. So now what does my Android box do? So right now I'm using a Firefox browser on my Android TV box. And I've got the Spectrum website up. And I also got a speed test application installed on this player, as I do all of my players. So let me, I'm getting this speed test started here. Now this isn't doing too bad, and actually it's better now than it was when I tested it before. I was only getting about 20 megabits down, which was awful. But one thing that I did do is I cleared the storage on this device. I just cleaned out all the saved data so it doesn't have anything left over. I think it was holding or retaining, you know, old data from my DSL days. So this unit is not too bad. It's about 56.9 megabits down and 11 up, which that's what we're getting on, you know, for our upload speed now is 11. So that's not bad. Now let me go to my speed test app on my Android box here, and we're going to do another speed test and see if it's accurate to the Spectrum website. So it's telling me where I'm actually pinging to in Syracuse. So let's see if this is just the same or not. You know, I don't know why this speed application is not as fast as the website was on the Firefox. There's just something about this speedtest.net that's awful. I mean, yes, I'm getting the upload speed, but why is it not telling me what the speed I'm getting down? It's not as good as what I was getting on the Firefox. And there comes an ad. But other than that, here's my results up on top of my screen, which is 21 megabits down and 11 up, which is okay, but I'd rather have faster download speed than up. I don't even care about the upload speed because I'm not doing any uploading. So if you're wondering, why are my speed tests so bad and why are some so good? Well, I have some ideas about that, and I've done a lot of testing on my router to make sure that I was getting good speed on all of my networks. Now, this house is more advanced than maybe yours. I'm using VLANs, which is Virtual Local Area Networks, and a VLAN router. And I have different IP addresses and speeds Well, right now everything is not capped, so I'm not using quality of service to control what my devices are getting on my network. I wanted to test everything in pure download speed. And obviously I'm not really getting as fast on some things as I should be as I do on others. So this is my theory. And obviously some of the things that I'm theorizing on is because I know some of the stuff that I've got, like my laptop I showed you, is older, so it's 100 megabits. And the system itself is not as fast as my desktop back over here. And on my virtual computer, I'm using USB network cards. And I have found that even though that I am receiving 1 gigabit speed from the network, there's just something not as fast, so that the system itself is not downloading super fast internet like it should. And it could possibly be the virtual too as well, because virtual is basically your copying or replicating the hardware that's inside your physical machine. So the physical machine is working a little bit harder to make that virtual machine work. So it could probably be that. And the Android box, for another, the box itself is not that old, but it did not come with the fastest networking. And I think that has something to do with it. And the processing power of your Android box. So if you're sitting there thinking, well, my Android box or my TV is not getting the fastest download speed, well, maybe your TV is connected by wireless, or your Android box for that matter. And you really ought to not use wireless for video applications like your streaming video for your Android smart TV or just your box. Now, I used an Android add-on box because I didn't want them to outdate that TV, and I'm stuck with a $500 TV set that will not work with some applications anymore. So this way I can upgrade the box and still keep my TV set. Let me show you my computer, the back of my computer where my virtual computers are running, and I'll show you my parts that I've got inside of it. Now here is the back of my computer systems, and I've got a bunch of them back here. So I'm not just using just one, I got a bunch of them here. So this green cable right here is a physical network card that's actually built inside the computer. It's kind of hard to see it. So that's going to be the fastest because it's a gigabit. And this computer also has 4 processors in it. So it's going to be even faster. And my virtual only has 1. Now I can do up to 4, but I decided I didn't want to tax out all the processors in this machine. So down here are my USB network cards. And they're getting a gigabit like I said before. But for some reason, these are not as fast as the physical network. It could be due to a bunch of things. It could be the USB hub that I've got, the cables, maybe the USB adapters that I have are not performing as fast as I used to. I don't know, because I've never had super fast internet. I've always had the 18.5 megabits down. As if you watch the rest of my technology videos, you'll see that. All the older ones. Now these new ones I'm going to be monkeying around with is on the faster internet. And I'm still keeping one DSL line for backup purposes and testing, because I want to be able to get outside my network sometimes, and I'm going to use that particular DSL modem to do so. And as far as fixing your problem, I don't think that there's any kind of a problem that I've got. It's just the equipment, and it's not the network. It's just the actual device, that how fast it can send and receive to your your computer, how fast that can send and receive internet. And other than that, there's not much of a fix to it. You just have to, there is a fix. You can upgrade to a a faster machine. But if you're satisfied with what you've got and it works fine, why upgrade? I don't know the last time I really upgraded. I mean, I did upgrade 2 machines so far, but that's only because the other machine still had XP on it, and some things were not working on the internet that I needed, so I upgraded, and I got some other XP machines I'm just going to plan on keeping. Now, there's nothing wrong with the machines, it's just the internet stuff was not working right. And just don't put comments about why I'm using XP and saying boo on Spectrum and all that. I don't need to listen to that. I'm using what I like until I need to upgrade. Other than that, I'll upgrade. But for right now, things are working pretty good. And on another note, I wanted to show you my router. Now, you probably have seen it before in other videos, but I wanted to explain about the speed issue that I'm having with that. I have a laptop router for different reasons, and that's because, well, actually, I've built my own router. So I have one tower router, which is a desktop computer turned into a router. And then I have a laptop with the same deal. It's a computer, but now it's a router. So let me show you that laptop router that I've got. Now, if you're a do-it-yourselfer kind of a person and like to monkey with technology and fix things and rebuild things, this is a laptop that I got from someone, and it had a dead hard drive in it. So I decided I'll turn it into a router. Well, this computer is only 100 megabits. There's an internal network card here, which you can see with the orange cable. Then I got 2 USB network cards, and they're kind of dangling off to the side here, but they're right here. And this particular router is not nearly as fast for the fact that I'm using USB, and those network cards that I've got is 100 megabits. So if it was a circuit board router that was 100 megabits, I would have no problem. Like I have over on my rack over here. I've got some my main router that I'm using. Let me show you this one right here. Right here is about 100 megabits. Now the bottom one is a gigabit, and this is my cable modem that's kind of in the dark there, and in the back are my DSL modems that I'm connecting to this load balancing router. And I've had no problems with speed issues with that 100 megabit router. Now, the other thing that can cause speed results that are undesirable is location of your test server. Now, the farther away you are, the slower it's going to be to get a response back. Now, I'm testing as close as I can to my home, and which is the nearest city to me is Syracuse. So that's all I've got. And if I test anywhere else, any farther away from the city that I've been testing at, I will not get accurate results. And there's others, testing areas that I can test at, but I don't bother. So that's another thing to think about is where is your test server sending you? Is it a mile away? Is it 2 miles away? Is it 20 miles away? Or it could be 100 miles away. And it depends on what that test server speed is running to. It might not be accurate because there was one that I tried just today, and I knew that it was a Wi-Fi company, and the speed was bad. I mean, I was like, no, this can't be right. Well, then I tested it near a better company that I knew that had super internet speed, which was pretty much near my cable company, and it was perfect. So it's a lot of variations of why your test results come back poorly, and you're saying, well, this or that or the other thing. There's some other things that could cause speed issues, and I've covered that in the past, and that is networking. But if you know that one computer has your perfect speed, then you know that there's nothing wrong with your network. It's something else. And it could just be a slowness of a computer system, like my laptop or my Android device. So I hope that helps you decide what's going on with your network or your computer, why you're just getting lousy internet speed. And that's pretty much all I can give you as far as helping you with your what to do about your internet. But sometimes it could be a modem failure, or it could be an ISP failure, which is Internet Service Provider, which a lot of times I found that when I've had slow speeds, it was me. It was not them. And I don't call the Internet Service Provider first. I mess around with my stuff and find out what's going on. A lot of times I can fix it right in-house before I have to call them. And sometimes I do call them and say, hey, well, I'm having some problems, but I'm working on it on my end, and I'll call you back if it's fixed or not. So, anyways, I hope that helps you figure out what you want to do, or some ideas on what could be an issue while you're getting bad speed. And I'll see you the next time on Pushing Technology to the Limit. Have a great day.